You have a president that's saying something like that, and then it actually happens, and he's like, we don't have anything to do with it.
But this is actually one of the things that makes me not believe in aliens, is that unless the current administration is just so in the dark about what is going on our planet, like, I would think that if the government was actually in on this and aware, they wouldn't be going around blowing up pipelines. Like, wouldn't government relationships with aliens mean that, like, they have some semblance of understanding of how to behave?
But do you think that that's the level of understanding and information exchange they have, or do you think it's more like chimpanzees in the Congo being aware of researchers watching them? Because I would imagine it's more like that.
But even still, that is so... if they know... I doubt Biden has been, clued in, if it is real. But
about UFOs?
About UFOs.
Well, it seems that Clinton and at least Obama and Trump, even Trump talked about it.
They tried, but it seems like they failed. Based on, I think...
Trump said that he knows some things, but he can't talk about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then famously, like, Obama, and, this is the one thing that is still funny about Jimmy Kimmel, which, his level of funniness has degraded, but he grilled Obama and Hillary Clinton about UFOs, which is just a great thing to do, which we can all agree on.
But don't you think that was previously discussed? Because when you do one of those shows, they break down what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, but I mean, why would they agree to it?
Because they have a patented way of dismissing it and answer.
But Obama said, like, I cannot reveal more. I don't know. I think that they're aware. Based on their behavior, it seems they're aware and interested in the subject. You've got Hillary walking around holding the UFO book, which we have on camera. With
UFO
Podesta, there was one. She was photographed holding a well-known book about UFOs, and because Podesta also has an interest in it. But I mean, yeah. But to get back to, would Biden engage? Would we be engaging in all this warfare if we knew aliens were kind of observing us?
Right.
It just seems. It doesn't make sense. I mean, not that it needs to make sense, but if I were in office and I knew that, there were these craft that, like, were watching us, we didn't really know what was going on, like, I would be focusing on that and trying to, like, clean up, make nukes safer, clean up the planet, like, do things that, and even go talk to Putin and Xi about what's going on. God,
but it doesn't seem like you're ever going to stop this control of natural resources and this grasp of power that human beings have. And if you're engaged in that, and that's a gigantic part of the economy, of international relations, why wouldn't they continue business as usual, even with the knowledge that UFOs exist?
I feel like it's a risk. It would be a risk to our relationship with the ETs.
What if we don't have a real relationship with them?
But even if we don't, if the behavior that we're exhibiting is just reckless, blowing each other up, destroying the planet, that's gonna not make us look good to them, in which case maybe they would start messing with us. I don't know. It just seems like it doesn't... If there's a higher level of, like, beings that are higher than us, I would not be risking playing these earthly games.
But how do you stop this? If the whole purpose of this, like this war machine, is this constant attempt to control resources and consolidation of power, which it seems to be, this is the game that they're playing no matter what. And there's a lot of money involved in this game, and there's a lot of influence in this game. This is the game that the United States plays.
But no matter what,
they're going to stop playing this game because there's a space daddy out there watching us?
I think that it's the space daddy is potentially the one thing that could make us stop.
But it hasn't.
Right, which makes me think that there is no space daddy.
It makes me think they don't have a relationship with space daddy. This is what I think. I think they're just doing what they've always done, and maybe in relation they're just watching all this shit go on, and they don't have real answers.
I think they're risking our planet by, if aliens were going to get hostile, I feel like they would much more likely get hostile to humans who could potentially fly out into the universe with nukes and, spread our devastation.
But that's very far in the future. We don't really have that capability right now. I would imagine that if they're watching and they're observing that this is business as usual for the human race, if they were going to intervene and step in, they would step in if we employed nuclear weapons and we were really at the risk of destroying ourselves. This is like a little slap in the face on the schoolyard. This is not as horrific as Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
But imagine you're in office and you get verification. You get the physical proof that you need to know, and it's super classified. Would that not change your whole reality and view on the world?
What do you do with that? Do you go to the military-industrial complex? Do you go to the pharmaceutical industry? Do you go to all these people and say, all these people that are polluting rivers and all the fucking the East Palestine thing? Do you say, hey, this can never happen again because UFOs are watching us?
Well, I think that you at least hit up world leaders on private channels and start having the conversation like, hey, guys, like, can we talk about this for a second? Because we're seeing these craft and it's occurring and we want to be on the same page because probably a good idea to do that.
Yeah, but there's no evidence that it's a good idea to do that. There's no evidence that they're doing anything other than watching us.
Well, but wouldn't it be a good idea for us to coordinate other players in the earth to understand our strategy?
Sure. It would if it got to that. But it hasn't gotten to that. Right now it's gotten to there's this thing that flies really fast and goes into the water and doesn't make a splash. The fuck is that? I don't know, but there's a lot of fucking oil, and we got to get that oil, and there's a lot of resources. We got to control those resources, because if we don't, China will. If we don't, Putin will. If we don't, this and that. And, we have to maintain our control, and we're the world's leader, and we're the this and the that. And, it's just business as usual while this is all happening in this very weird way where the Pentagon discusses it, but not very specifically, and not gives you all the information, and just says, I can't talk about it, but yeah, we do have a crashed UFO.
And we have more video that we haven't shared, which we know. Mellon said that.
Yeah.
That they have higher res stuff that they're specifically not sharing.
Mind-blowing stuff.
I mean, just the fact, when I first heard that they have higher res stuff, like, in my brain, I feel like I changed, because that felt like another level of validation for this being more of a real thing. Not that I believed in that moment, but I feel like it changed who I was a little.